In this video, I'm going to show you 3 esoteric law of attraction techniques that will accelerate the process of you creating what you want in your life. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 esoteric, a little bit more edgier of the techniques that I've learned for understanding the manifestation process. On the channel, I used to create a lot of law of attraction videos. It's been a while though. I've been mainly focused on more so evolution of consciousness, understanding who we are at a deeper level, but I see how much it interplays with this whole process, with also manifestation, us create what we want in our life. And the truth is, you can have, do, or be anything that you want. And the easiest way for you to get there is to actually tap into your core vibration. It's not one of the esoteric techniques I'm sharing, but just in general, the stuff I've been teaching on my channel on how to raise your vibration. When you're in a higher vibrational state, the things you intend to create happen so much easier. So this is a process of knowing that this is all it's all intermixed. It's all something that influences each other. So for this process of manifestation, understanding that we create our own reality, I'd say one of the first steps as well, just to kind of like a side note, when we understand that our thoughts correlate with what we experience, that's when we start to take our power back. That's one of the biggest, I guess, epiphanies that someone may have in their life, is that things don't happen to them, things happen for them, and you can direct your thoughts, direct your intention, direct your emotions, and then direct your life in a new way. So it's extraordinarily powerful because most people are running around believing that they are at the whims of their environment. They are a product of their environment. They can't think beyond their environment, and that's what keeps them in their environment. So the first step when it comes to these esoteric principles is I'm going to be sharing things that came from a book called Thought Form. Esoteric book from the early 1900s. Some of it will have to do with our astral body. Some of it will have to do with understanding the metaphysics of reality as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first one that I want to share with you has to do with something I recently learned. And it has to do with understanding the energy levels of your body. Now, you don't just have one body. I mean, you have one physical body that you can see, go like this, and you're like, oh look, it sounds, I can make a sound, it feels like it's solid. And then you also have what is called an astral body. An astral body, every single night you go to bed, you're awake in your astral body, whether you're aware of it or not. And you forget this thing when you come and you wake up here, you forget that you have that connection and that you are, in a way, have so much more flexibility with time and space, and there's so much that you can do there. But you have an astral body, you have a mental body, you have a causal body. There's all these energetic bodies that go beyond just our physical body. We may not be able to physically see them with our eyes, but nonetheless they exist. The Heart Math Institute has shown that there's an electromagnetic energy that goes many feet around our body, and our heart is actually more powerful than that of our brain. That's kind of a side note, but in general, the idea is that you're much more than your physical body. Now what happens is we have something that is called our astral body, our energetic bodies. And what happens is the energy that we are emitting and the thoughts that we have, when we're thinking of certain thoughts, like from that book called Thought Form I'm talking about, you think thoughts, those thoughts actually have an energetic form. We may not actually see them, but nonetheless, the idea is you focus on a certain reality, you stay consistent with it, you have an intensity of the focus on it, and eventually it crystallizes into physical reality. But what do most people do? Most people focus on something for a short period of time, they give up, and then it goes away. It's because it hasn't been consistently focused on with energy, with high vibrational energy as well. Now, what that book was showing, called Thought Form, is that when we think our thoughts, they go within our energetic field, and those thought forms are in a direct reflection of the aura we are emitting. So if we have a low vibrational, like for example, our aura changes, by the way, too. Some people think that, oh, your aura is the same color your whole entire life. My grandpa, he's like 80 years old. He's been able to see auras for a very long time. And he talks about how there's many different colors around our body depending on what we're thinking of. I'll be talking to him. I was talking the other day, and he said, as I was talking about something I was passionate about, there was like these sparks coming out of my head. It's a energetic type thing, but these ideas, these thought forms are actually real, and you can see them. And around our bodies, there'll be different, say you're angry at someone, you might have a glowing red on this side of your aura that might be going out, you see? And there's these different colors all around us. Now, the reason I say this is when it comes to our energy fields, we must charge our energy fields for them to have more potency. When you look at things, for example, from Autobiography of a Yogi, which is a book I recommend a lot. It's Paramahansa Yogananda, him going through his process of enlightenment. He talks about what it was like to meet these other enlightened gurus who could do literally things that you would consider to be magic. They could make objects instantly appear. Like one time, there was a guru that told Paramahansa Yogananda's mom, you're going to go home and you're going to get into meditation and put the intention there, and you're going to have this locket that's going to appear in your hand. And even in the book, it said it was an astrally formed locket that was physical, but it was astrally formed. And she goes into meditation that night, she's sitting there, she's doing it, and then all of a sudden she feels this weight in her hand, and there's this locket that she eventually gives to Paramahansa Yogananda. So she wrote him a letter, because then she ended up passing away not too long after that. She wrote him a letter and gave that locket to her oldest son to give to him, to Paramahansa Yogananda at a certain point in his life. And basically, the reason these enlightened gurus could do things like that is because their energy fields were so strong that they were able to say something, intend for something, and it would simply happen. Now, part of that has to do with their pranic body, their prana that they were able to admit. Prana is energy. The more energy you have, the more ability you have to manifest and to create what you want. So this the first esoteric technique has to do with you and your pranic energy field, you breathing deeper. You notice there's a lot of people that are successful that also work out. Now, working out, why could that be so powerful? When you're running, when you're working out, you're charging your energetic field. You're bringing in more prana, more energy, and that makes it easier for you to create things in your life. So something very powerful that I think you can begin to look at is, are you breathing deep? Are you doing certain types of meditation? Are you charging your energetic field? Like, even if sitting here right now, like if I were to just sit here like this and imagine, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. If you want, you can do this with me real quick. What we could do is imagine you're sitting wherever you are, doing whatever you're doing, and you take in a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and then imagine that there's a light of energy coming through the top of your head, through your root of it, and all the way down to your body, and charging your energetic field with light. So let's take a deep breath in, deep breath out right now. And as you breathe out, you can close your eyes and just imagine that there's energy going from source, whatever you want to call it, coming down into your head, into your body. And as you put your awareness there, you can imagine every cell of your body being lit up with high vibrational energy. And then take in one more deep breath in, deep breath out right now. Breathe it out. And imagine that that light energy is flowing through you, going through your head, through your heart, your left leg and foot, your right leg and foot. And by doing this and taking deep breaths, maybe a couple times a day you do that, and you charge your body with light, what you'll find is that you start to have more energy. You'll find that as well, the pranic body is charged so that when you intend for things, it has more momentum, has more energy, has more potency. I noticed, like a little side note here, but when I used to make YouTube videos, I made like a meditation video almost every video. The days I would do those, I'd be in a high vibe state like the whole day from doing that. I felt like my energy was just charged, and I just had so much intention. And that things were much more powerful because of it. So if there's one thing that I can share with you right now, charge your pranic body by breathing deeper. Maybe go work out. Go do things that charge your body with oxygen, because as you do that, you have more of a potency inside of your body, and then it's almost like when you focus on certain things, it's much more likely to happen. Now, the second esoteric technique I want to talk about is also from that book called Thought Form, and it has to do with the quality of the thoughts you're having. The quality of the thoughts you're having. Now, just like we were talking about with the aura around our body, the thoughts that you have a certain aura about them, depending on the intention of them. For example, me having an intention of adding value to you with this video is a higher vibrational color and a higher vibrational intention. Therefore, maybe you can feel this energy of me doing this video. And maybe it feels like I'm in my flow state as well. When I'm in my flow state, I'm in a higher vibrational state. That has a color that is attributed to that thought form, to that intention that is flowing through me. Now, the difference in the quality of that to the quality of if I was making this video because I just wanted you to share this video so that we could add more subscribers to the channel and grow it. You see how there's a different vibrational intention there? One's on me, the intention's on me, and the first one, the intention was on you. More expansive. I also realized this when I used to work at Barney's, New York, in women's shoes. I would go into work every day, and every day I started at zero. It was like a playground for the law of attraction. Because every single day I went in, I could see how the energy dynamic was going. If I went in with the intention of adding value to my own paycheck, it'd be a certain type of energy field, a certain type of response from customers. If I went in with the intention of adding value to people, if I went in with the intention of increasing people's state of being, much more expansive energy, much different response I would get. The quality of intention there is different, and because of that, what would happen is I found out the more I would have fun, the more I would loosen up, the more I would add value, the more the intention was on them, the better, the more I'd have contagious energy, the more they would want to buy. In the same way, the quality of your thought is going to determine the frequency of whether it is expansive or whether it is contractive. Now, what I encourage you to do is to see how your goals are linked up to the goals of others. This is why what you put out is what you get back. What you do to someone else, you do to another aspect of you. Literally, those other people are other aspects of you. They are reflections of you at a deep level, even at a surface level. But what happens is what you put out is what you get back. So if you put out an intention that is a win-win, if I add value to someone else and it increases their state of being, the side effect of that is they want to give value back to me. Maybe if I'm helping them with shoes like I was back when I had that 9-to-5 job, they would then want to buy because they were in that buying state because they were feeling good. In the same way, maybe I have a high vibrational video and you're like, you know what? I want to share that video. I want to like that video. It's a suggestion, like this video if you like this video as well. So I'll kind of throw that in there. Now, the third esoteric technique for accelerating manifestation is also, it's not from that book, this is just in general, this is kind of like my main philosophy, I guess you'd kind of say what I like to share. And I call it be as if. Be as if, not act as if. Act as if means that you haven't linked up your self-image to this version of you. It means you're just acting. You ever see Leonardo DiCaprio act in a movie? He doesn't act. He becomes it. Recently, we watched the movie called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where Leonardo DiCaprio is actually playing an actor. But you see him in this role where he becomes that person. You've seen Jim Carrey in that movie called Andy or whatever it is, where he plays Andy Kaufman. He becomes Andy. I was watching an interview with him the other day. He said that he went to, Jim Carrey was talking in an interview. He said he was talking to, I think, Jerry Seinfeld in one of those shows or whatever. He said that he went to dinner with Nicolas Cage back in the day when he was playing that Andy character. And he said that Nicolas Cage couldn't even look him in the eyes because he says, you're just not yourself right now. Like, it's just weird, and he like had to like leave dinner early or something like that. The idea is that you become that which you are being, but it's who you really are. That's why it's important to also make sure that you are being in your core vibration. What are you really passionate about? I love making videos. I'm just being myself right now. I'm not acting. I'm being. Be as if. Assume that your new identity is the perfect version of you. Now, here's the esoteric part of it. Everything and every reality is like a radio dial. If you want to perceive of a reality where you are living your dreams, doing this, doing that, tune to it. If you tune to that reality, you will eventually get it, but tune it to it on the inside. Feel as if you're already living in that reality. Feel as if you are, for me, I feel as if I'm traveling the world doing what I love, and I'm doing that. I feel as if I am, and if I want to go beyond that, I can do that. I can go beyond and imagine myself doing that, and then be that version of me. What would that version of Aaron do? Now, here's the thing. That version of Aaron already exists. I'm simply dialing in on the frequency of it. In the same way, you doing what you love for a living, it already exists. Imagine it. Imagine that version of you. Imagine the qualities you have. Imagine the kind of energy that you're in. Imagine the daily activities you have. Imagine the daily routine you have. Imagine the kind of books you read. Imagine the kind of people you hang out with. Imagine how people respond to you. Imagine all of these things, because when you do so, you start to tap into that version of you, and then simply know that that is who you choose to be now. You see, that's the power of be as if. That frequency already exists. That version of you already exists. Simply dial in on it by linking up your inner reality to that version of you. And you can imagine it. You can use your imagination to imagine that version of you. I did this with going, you all know the story if you've seen my videos before. I did that with YouTube. I became a full-time YouTuber on the inside before it was my reality on the outside. And eventually my outer reality began to change. You want to know why? All reality is a mirror. It's a mirror. It's a mirror reflection. And if you want to change the mirror reflection, you must first change your inner reality, how you feel. Understanding that when you tap into the feeling of you being the way that you want, that changes everything. And then the identity. You will always act in consistency to the way that you view yourself and to what your self-image is. The reality you want to imagine, that you want to experience, like a radio dial that already exists, tune to it. Link up your inner reality to it and watch how that eventually on the outside becomes your dominant reality. So if you like these esoteric videos, could you do me a huge favor and just like this video? And then comment below, let me know if you want me to do more like this as well. And then as well, there is a meditation that will help you to raise your vibrational set point. You listen to it for 21 days. I think it'll transform your life. It'll help you to get to that higher frequency state. So remember, for this process, the 3 esoteric techniques that you can begin to apply is first off understanding that you can charge your pranic body. You can do that of a meditation. You want me to make a meditation for that? Let me know. For charging our body with pranic energy so that our manifestations are much more likely to manifest. Comment below, let me know. I'll make one on that. Understand that the thought forms you have depend on the quality of the thoughts, have the intention of the thoughts, add value to other people. And then thirdly, be as if that version of you already exists. Link up your inner reality to that reality, and eventually your outer reality will begin to reflect that. So with that being said, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see the daily vids that I do. I have a lot more vids coming out that I'm excited to share. Out of that, as always, peace, much love, namaste.